Are you sure? Did you get a really close look at her?
Close? She almost knocked me over.
And you are sure that is the same woman that was at the hotel with Mason?
Positive. Stepmother, huh? Kinky.
No. Not even Mason and Gina would.
That's it, the name. That's what he called her, Gina.
Cece's wife and his son. My God.
I was right. He came here to be with her. He lied to me and sneaked out to meet Sophia.
Steve, are you sure you're all right?
Look, you stay away from him. You're hurting Christy. Mason's trying to use you to get to her.
I don't care what he's trying to do. I'd never do anything to hurt Christy. You know that. Anyway, I hate Mason Capwell.
What were you doing dancing with him just now?
I didn't come here with him. He followed me.
Mary, why are you dressed like that?
I don't want to talk here. Let's go home, okay?
Yeah, let's go.
Wait a minute. I left my purse in there. I better go get it.
No, you stay right here. I'll get it.
Okay.
Mason, you should put some ice on that. You're going to get black eyes.
All the better to see you with, my dear.
I have something really important I'd like to talk to you about when you have a free minute.
Certainly. Well, as I was saying, I was trying to get closer to Mary because she can be helpful to us.
Well, your strategy is very clever, Mason, but the trial is tomorrow. Don't you think you should be working on the stronger aspects of Ted's defense?
Well, those have been sort of hard to come by, Dad. Right now, I think the best thing to do is avoid a trial altogether.
You mean to tell me that phony charge against Ted could stick?
Well, right now, it's just Ted's word against Christie's. Now, he's got character on his side, but she's got some pretty nasty circumstantial evidence on hers.
Well, you got to get him off, Mason. Now, if you want to call in other lawyers, then do it.
Cece, if you get upset, you're not going to help Ted, all right?
Dad, you can call in whoever you like, but I don't think you'll find anybody who'll do more than I've done, or anybody with the emotional commitment. If you haven't noticed, I love my brother a great deal.
I know, Mason, I know. I was just suggesting... I just don't want to see my son go to prison.
I'll do everything that's humanly possible to prevent that. Oh, here comes the missing link.
Excuse me. My sister left her purse.
We're going back to the table. Mason, are you coming?
I think the pre-trial exhibition is over.
The next time I demolish a Mason, it'll be in court. We should be in a jury selection tomorrow, unless you bog us down with useless preliminary motions.
Only one, to dismiss the indictment.
Well, that'll gain you about 2 minutes delay before the judge throws it out. However, I don't expect much difficulty getting a motion granted against you.
Oh, and what motion is that, may I ask?
A protective order to enjoin you from harassing Mary.
Me harassing Mary?
From following around and mauling her the way you did a while ago.
I'm the one that'll be getting the protective order, Bassett, to keep your sister from making improper advances to me.
Give me a break.
Don't pretend you didn't put her up to it. Get her to come on to me so you could learn my defense secrets.
Try another one, will you, Capel? That'd be tough. Making him buy a nun as a seductress.
Oh, you haven't heard, have you? I guess the stepbrother is always the last to know.
Know what?
I'd love to see that granite jaw of yours drop, Steve, but I think I'll let Mary be the one to tell you. Now, I hate to cut this short, but I have other fish to fry. Excuse me. Santana, I don't have a whole lot of slack, so we'll have to make this brief.
Have a seat, Mason. I'd like to talk to you about Gina. You and Gina.
How's the man going to be?
Oh.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to startle you.
Oh, that's okay. I don't know why I get so lost in this picture. Oh, Gina, Brandon's fine. He's sound asleep.
Oh, thank you for watching him. Yeah, that's very good.
Well, thanks. I don't know who the man's gonna be yet.
Well, the woman is you. Same hair, same eyes.
Yeah, I guess you're right. Then the man has to be Joe, I guess.
You still can't see yourself with anyone but Joe, can you?
Mm-mm. Well, I don't think I ever will.
Now, Kelly, life takes away enough happiness. Don't do it to yourself.
Gina, I'm so sorry about you losing your baby. I know it's hard for you now.
Well, at least I have Brandon. I don't know what I'd do without him. You know, I didn't think it was possible for him to be more precious to me than he already is, but when I found out that I couldn't get pregnant again, that I'd never have a baby.
Oh, Gina, I understand. I think that's the thing I regret most in my life is not having a child with Joe, you know? I keep thinking to myself, God, if I'd only gotten pregnant before he died.
You're young and you're healthy. You'll meet someone one day, you'll fall in love, and you'll have his children.
No, I don't think so. I can't imagine being in love with anybody else or having anybody else's children. I mean, that's all we talked about were the plans and the family we were going to have, and I just feel like it'd be betrayal in a way.
Oh, Kelly, don't think that way. It was wonderful being pregnant. To feel that tiny life inside of you, I loved it. I just loved having that feeling that the baby needed me, my husband needed me. But everything's different now. It's all changed.
You know, you didn't have to jump into that fight. There were other people around that could have helped Mason.
I know, Sophia, but it was worth it just to see Mason's face when I came to help him.
Are you all right?
Yes, I'll be all right.
See, I'm worried about you. You have to protect yourself.
Sophia, I am living my life in minutes and hours. The most important thing to me now is to reach my children. Every one of them, while the time lasts.
I want you to have those minutes and those hours and those days. I don't want to lose you. And to be perfectly honest, I wish I had all your attention and your love.
I know. Can you understand how torn I am? You understand why I have to go home now? Because Gina needs me more than ever?
I understand. I have your love, and that means everything.
Yes, you do have that. And if you're ready to go, I'll walk you to your car. First, I want to try to find Eden. Let her know that I did come by.
Okay, I'll wait right here for you. My turn. Finally. What do you want, Augusta? You and I have some unfinished business together. Oh, please, Augusta, not now, not again.
I tell you, you better listen to me or I'm going to make a very unpleasant scene. I don't want to, but I will. And then everyone will know what it's about, including Cece, and you won't have any more of those little touching tete-a-tetes like I just witnessed.
What are you talking about?
I'm talking about your son, Channing.
Hello, Cece.
Augusta, if you're ready now, I left a message with Eden. We can go.
Cece, Augusta wants to talk to me for a few minutes.
You want to talk to Augusta?
I think I've convinced her to have a little chat with me, Cece. Go ahead. I'll see you in a little while. I'll be fine.
All right. Good night, Sophia.
May I sit down? Thank you. Sophia, you have great panache. Some people will call it gall, being out in public with Cece while his wife is at home. If that's what you want to talk about, I guess I'm leaving right now. No, those are the appetizers. The main course will be coming shortly. It's about you and my husband. Sit down. I'm going to tell you for the last time, I have had nothing to do with your husband for 15 years. Tonight, all the dreadful feelings I had about you are being confirmed. Will it help you if I apologize again for whatever happened all those years ago? I already have your confession from Father Michael when you made that confession in 1961 in the church a few days before you married Cece. I don't understand. Did you happen to notice the man that was sitting at my table tonight? Of course, you wouldn't recognize him because you never saw him. He's the priest that you confessed to.
He's an ex-priest now.
What about Gina?
I paid a bill for you tonight, Mason. An overdue motel bill.
How thoughtful of you. May I ask why?
Oh, I have it right here. I'll show it to you. But first, I want to ask you a question.
I'm all ears.
Will you help me convince Gina to let me see more of Brandon?
Sorry, I can't do that.
Yes, you can, Mason. You're probably the only person she's going to listen to.
That's because I'm the only person who acts in her best interest.
Right now, I'm asking you to do what's best for Brandon.
Brandon already has a mother, Santana. It's Gina, and he loves her dearly. Now, you're going to have to learn how to be a bystander now. You let Channing talk you into giving up your baby several years ago. Now you're going to have to live with the consequences of your actions.
You know, you take a great pleasure in being nasty to me these days. I think you should help me out. Or maybe you'll have to pay the consequences for your actions.
I've already paid quite a few, including a number of humiliating ones to you.
Are you angry at me because I didn't fall in love with you?
Actually, I don't think about you much at all these days, Santana. But if I put my mind to it, I suppose I could remember how you led me on, lied to me about your feelings.
Why don't we just
for
set
me.
the record straight, okay? You only came after me because I was with your father.
It's a straight record you want. You only slept with my father so that you could get closer to Brandon.
That's not true.
With you, Santana, all roads lead to your son.
I'm going to ask you one more time. Will you help me with Gina?
I hope it's the last time. No.
Then I'm going to make things very tough for you, Mason. Starting right now.
What are you saying, Mary?
What I'm saying is that as of this morning, I left the order. I've stopped being a nun.
Oh, no.
Well, Steve, don't look like that, please. I've been counting on you to understand so you can help me explain this to Christy and Mom. Mom's not going to take this very well.
I can't even begin to understand it. How could you do such a thing? What made you do it?
Well, I can't talk to you if you're going to jump down my throat.
Is it too late? Can you change your mind?
No, I can't change my mind. I don't want to change my mind. No, the cord has been cut.
Well, your timing's incredible. Incredible. The night before the trial.
Steve, what does me becoming Ms. Duval instead of Sister Mary have to do with the trial?
Ted Kappel's on trial, but let's face it, so are Christy and the rest of us. I've worked very hard to give the world a certain image of this family. You've just blown it.
What image?
Haven't you read the papers? We're a lower-class family with high morals, led by a hard-working mother on her own with children who are responsible and caring. One daughter who quit school to help out. Stepson who worked his way through law school, made it to the DA's office. Another daughter who had the book of calling and became a nun. Now suddenly the nun's not a nun anymore.
I spoiled the image.
You've opened yourself up to curiosity and speculation. You've made us all more vulnerable.
Steve, look, we might all be on trial along with Ted, but let's not forget that he's the guilty one, not me.
You gave this family an aura of purity.
I didn't know that was my function.
If you'd bothered to discuss it with me, I would have told you. I never thought of you as a quitter, Mary. Why did you do it?
Leaving that order was the hardest decision I've ever made in my life. It's much harder than joining it. But I never have thought of myself as a quitter.
You picked a hell of a time to walk away from your commitment.
Well, look, I joined for all the wrong reasons anyway.
You seemed so sure of yourself then.
I was sure of what I was leaving behind. Just wasn't so sure of what I was getting into.
You mean you wanted to get away from the family?
I mean that I hated my life. I wanted to run away from it. Like Christy. Except that I was luckier than Christy.
Look, I did my best to protect both of you.
Steve, there were a lot of reasons why I left.
I know my father was making life hell for all of us. I was glad when he finally walked out.
I missed my own father, okay? I was too young and not smart enough to cope with everything. I found myself more at home on the streets than I did in my own house. I even started getting into drugs.
I didn't know that.
Well, I didn't get very far into them because I was scared. You know, it was a real toss-up. What I was more scared of, staying out on the streets or coming home where everybody was angry and miserable all the time.
Theda was drunk most of the time.
Well, that was her way of escaping. My way was to join the convent, where I could feel safe, where all the decisions were made for me, like when to wake up, when to go to work, when to pray. And it worked for a while.
Until now.
You know, Steve, there are women who really have the calling. They're smart and they're sensitive, and they just don't have the problems with authority that I have. And they make wonderful nuns. And I always envied them.
You think you'll be able to face not having the convent to run back to when things get tough?
I think so.
You've been sheltered for a long time, Mary.
Yeah, well, I can't live like that anymore. I'm too impatient to be a nun. You know, I would see all the suffering in this world, and I couldn't pray away my frustration and my anger about it. And then this thing that happened with Christy, everything I'd held back just spilled out, and I couldn't ignore it anymore. Do you understand what I'm saying at all?
I'm beginning to. Maybe we can make it work to our advantage. First of all, we have to be the ones to make the announcement that you've left the convent before Mason gets a chance to. We'll portray you as a woman so outraged by what happened to her sister, so frustrated by the Capitol's efforts to get this spoiled rich kid off, that you couldn't stay locked away. You had to be by your sister's side, no matter what the personal cost. It's good. No sacrifice is too great to make for the sake of your family. Yeah, that's real good. That'll work.
I don't know why they call them ghost towns. They haunt you. I don't know what I'm looking for. It's the same town. This is the same picture that... How can that... Wait a minute. I drew this picture before I got this book. This is crazy. I've never even seen this before.
Hello?
I think I've just discovered I have psychic powers. This is Kelly.
I know. Why?
You know that sketch I've been doing, the one of the ghost town?
Yeah?
Well, it's the exact same picture as one I saw in the book you gave me.
Are you sure?
I'm positive. The hotel, the saloon, all the buildings are the same. The details are all the same.
I believe you. I believe you. Is it okay with you if I come over right now and take a look at it?
Yeah, I was hoping you'd say that.
You're psychic. You knew I would. I'll be right over. Kelly. Maybe now.
Well, it's been fun trading insults and threats with you, Santana, but I really do have to be going.
My threats aren't idle, Mason.
You know, Santana, a threat is a lot like a bank loan. You have to back it up with collateral, proof, in order to be taken seriously.
I have proof.
Oh, lucky you. That's one thing I'm a little short of these days. I need proof to show that Ted didn't commit the crime he's accused of, or that someone else did it. Right now, that would take an eyewitness or divine intervention. You remember Ted, don't you, Santana? Cute little kid. Used to want to tag along whenever we went out. Used to have such warm feelings for him.
I still care about Ted, Mason. But if I were to show the right people what I've discovered, Gina would be the one barred from seeing Brandon and the one thrown out by Cece.
This is getting very tiresome, Santana. Why don't you just go ahead and tell me what it is you think you know?
Well, when I do, Gina will be begging me to come and see Brandon.
Poor Augusta, this will really tear her up. Yeah, I'll tell her right away. Well, we may want to go to New Salem.
The ex-priest gave me all the details, especially the ones including Lionel. Priests take vows, Augusta. You're lying. Somehow you heard that I went to a priest years ago, and now you're using it to hurt me because you're so filled with hate. All of that's true, except the line. Of course, Mr. Phelps could have been embellishing his sordid little tale, but then why would he make up a story like that? It's too bizarre. Don't do this, Augusta. Oh, I'll give you the fact that you cared for Lionel. I don't know whether it was true love or just simply lust. I won't speculate, and he did lead you on by not telling you that he was married to me.
I was devastated when I found out, and you know it. Yeah, I've never understood this vendetta of yours. It's not like I took Lionel away. You're living with the man. He's still married to you.
Sophia, Michael Phelps told me in great detail everything you said to him. How you deliberately, with malice aforethought, went after Cece, not because you loved him or respected him, but because you were trying to spite Lionel. You made up lies about Pamela that turned Cece against him. You intercepted phone calls between them.
I didn't break up that marriage. They were already separated.
Oh.
Cece hadn't cared for Pamela in a long time.
And if they had any chance of getting back together again, you made sure they never got it. Oh, I'm really looking forward to telling Mason about all this.
Call me cold-blooded. What do you think that you're going to gain from telling Mason and hurting him with this?
You don't give a whit about Mason's feelings. You're just trying to keep the truth from Cece while you're on the kill for the second time.
Oh, that is not true. I am not the same person. I have changed. That was years ago. That was a lifetime ago.
Oh, yes, you are the same person. I don't care how many years went by. To think that you lived knowing that you killed your son and then you manipulated it around so Cece would feel close to you. You really are an accomplice.
Hello, darling.
Hi.
You down here all alone?
Yeah, Gina went on upstairs. Eddie, I feel so sorry for her. I wish I could help her in some way.
Well, sweetie, your kindness is very good for her.
That's Nick. I asked him to come over. Hey.
Hi.
Come on in.
Mr. Capwell? Nick? Well, if you two will excuse me, I'm going to go up and see how my wife is doing.
Okay.
If you just have a minute, sir, something's come up today that I need to talk to you and to Kelly about. What is it, Nick? I've been offered a photographic assignment by American News Magazine to cover Ted's trial. I see. Well, thank you for giving us fair warning. I haven't told them anything yet. I wanted to get your reaction first. Well, if I had my way about it, Nick, I would bar the press from the courtroom altogether. I understand your feelings, sir, but that is not the case. So I thought I might be able to do some good. Oh, how? By taking pictures that show the essence of the people involved. Not just the surface, not just the... You may have good intentions, Nick. I'm sure you do. But the one thing I don't want is more publicity and pictures of Ted in the newspapers and magazines. I don't want to turn this trial into a spectacle. That has already happened, Mr. Capwell. I'm sorry. There are dozens of people of the press in this town from all over the country. Well, then you may as well be one of them. Sir, listen to me just a second, please. I would not tackle this assignment unless I knew I could find the truth in this situation and show that in my pictures. I'm not going to try to tell you there's not going to be a lot of sensationalism here, but it won't be in my work if I take this job.
Daddy, listen. I've seen Nick's photographs. I saw the one he won the Pulitzer Prize for, and I'll never forget the Vietnamese boy's little eyes. He's not just a photographer, he's an artist.
Kelly.
No, come on, you are. I mean, it's as if every picture you take is a part of you. It's part of your soul, Daddy, there's no one I trust more than him. To take pictures and show how things really are. I think he could show who Christy really is. And Ted and his innocence and his decency and all. And I think he'll even show how passionately Mason is defending him.
Well, you're certainly very passionate about all this.
Because I believe that whatever comes out of Nick's work is true and honest.
Thank you, Kelly.
Daddy?
All right, Nick, I hope you take the assignment. Somebody's going to. I'd rather you take it than someone else.
Santana, say what you have to say. I have a lot of work ahead of me to prepare for the trial.
If I were to talk to Cece tonight, Mason, you'd never make it into that courtroom. He'd fire you.
You really do have delusions of power, Santana. If you would just calm down and act rationally for a little while, maybe Gina would come around on her own, but you keep fueling
I don't
this
have time, Mason. I don't think she's a very good mother.
Well, you could hardly be called objective, Santana.
If I thought Brandon would be better off without me, I would leave, but I don't. I will never forget, and I will never forgive her for being so strung out that she wasn't at that house that day. And I'll never forgive her for leaving those pills around so Brandon could take them. He almost died, Mason. Do you remember that? My son swallowed that pill, and he went out on that roof. Because there was no one in that house looking out for him.
Calm down, Santana. He didn't die, and Gina has suffered the torments of the damned from that incident.
Brandon should have been taken away from her that day, May 15th. That date is burned into my mind. May 15th. May 15th. My God.
What's the matter, Santana?
No.
What is it? Santana?
My son almost died so that Mason and Gina could shack up together. Cece has to know about it. Brandon has to be taken away from her forever.
I could tear your heart out for that. That I would make use of my son's death to seduce Cece is the most hateful thing one human being could say to another.
Save your righteous act for others. I know you.
You don't know anything. You see everyone in this world through your own twisted mind. You are a vicious, jealous woman, Augusta. And you're going to lose Lionel for good. Because of all his faults, he is not malicious and he is not going to live with a woman who is. Now, he still loves you and I have no idea why, but you do have time to change.
Well, it's too late for you, Sophia. You have no place to hide because I'm going to destroy you by merely telling the truth.
You don't know the truth. The truth is in my heart.
The truth is in that confession. You were about to do the most god-awful thing you've ever done in your life, and you wanted to be forgiven in advance.
I was desperate when I went into that church to talk to that priest. I needed help.
You know what you were doing. You told him you were going to go through with that upcoming marriage, even though you were pregnant with another man's child.
Oh, my God, you know. Lionel's child. I never knew.
No. That is what he does. That must have been one blistering little barb on your conscience. Or maybe you tried to rationalize that away, too. Well, you've had quite a past, haven't you, Sophia? I wonder how Cece will feel about it. I bet you haven't even told him. What good would it do me to hurt Cece with that? Wouldn't do you any good at all, so there you go. Manipulating other people's lives. Lionel doesn't know that Channing is his child, and Cece doesn't know that his precious Channing is the son of a man that he hates. I'd give my life for Channing's. Oh, what a safe offer. Cece gave my child a name and a home, which is something Lionel never would have done. I thought I was doing the best thing for my child. You were doing the best thing for yourself, as you always had, but you had a premonition that maybe you wouldn't get away with it this time. The priest told me how you prayed that nothing bad would happen to your child.
Oh, yes, I prayed. I was so afraid.
Because you were going to be punished for your lies.
And I have been punished, Augusta. Channing is gone. Isn't that punishment enough?
Mason, why don't you join us?
Well, this is an unholy alliance, isn't it? I'm sorry I don't have time to stop and gape.
I didn't want you to miss a very special event. Sophia's going to tell the truth.
About what?
About everything. We were just having a little chat here about Pamela and Channing. And who's going to tell him, Sophia, you or me?
Shut up!
Mason, Sophia's just been confessing to her sins, one of them being how she interfered with her parents' marriage so they couldn't get back together again.
Stop it!
She intercepted phone calls and letters between Cece and Pamela till she pushed Pamela away and she could be alone with Cece.
What's she saying true, Sophia?
Yes, part of it's true.
I suspected all along. Always denied it.
I was young and confused, and I've tried to make it up to you.
Please, Sophia. Let me live with a lie for 20-odd years. You used to have the decency to let the truth sink in before you try to doctor it up.
That was so... That was fun. You ain't seen nothing yet.
Augusta, I'm glad I found
Lionel, you must have read my mind.
I have to talk to you. It's important.
Go right ahead.
I'd rather talk privately. Would you excuse me,
Why?
Sophia? Augusta, when you hear what I have to say, I think you'll be glad we're alone, right?
Oh, no. Lionel, we don't have any secrets from Sophia, and she certainly doesn't have any from us. Your endless little affair has made her part of the family.
Excuse me. What have you been saying to Sophia? Excuse me.
Mrs. Capwell, you have a call at the reservation desk.
Oh, what a break for you, Sophia. But don't make it too long. We have Roodles to talk about, and don't think of leaving the restaurant. What is it, Lionel?
Sit down. Augusta, I had a very disturbing phone call a while ago.
One of your stocks went down, right? We'll have to pull in our belts and buy domestic caviar.
Augusta, it's Julia. She's missing. She was on a yacht off the coast of New Stalen. She and Jack Lee.
What?
Yeah. They were alone. Apparently a storm came up. A piece of broken mast washed ashore, but there's nothing else been discovered.
I know I made the right decision. So why am I so scared? Hello?
Mary?
Who's this?
It's Mason. Don't hang up, please. I'm calling to apologize.
Good, thank you. I just want to tell you that your brother had a right to throw a punch at me. I was behaving very badly toward you, not only on the dance floor, but the whole time. I forced my company on you, and then I was insensitive to your feelings.
You had just cut your ties with a place that had been your home for several years, given up an entire way of life.
All I could do was badger you and make fun of you. Acted like a total clod, and I'm thoroughly ashamed of myself for it.
Only defense is that I'm wound up because of this trial. A lot of people are counting
On me. Well, I won't get into all that. Are you still there?
Mary?
Mm-hmm.
Good. What I really want to say, most of all, Mary, is that I know you must be kind of scared now. Anyone would be.
Even someone as strong as you are. And you are strong, Mary. Even though you may not feel like it right now. Loyal and loving, and I don't think Christy could have a better friend.
She needs you now. I know that's one reason you left the convent. I can't tell you how much I admire you, Mary.
Well, I've taken up too much of your time. Thanks for listening, not hanging up on me. Good night, Mary.
It's the same town, right?
Sure looks like it.
The only deal is, I was dreaming about this and sketching on it for days before you gave me the book. How can it be, Nick?
Are you positive you did not visit that town with your parents when you were a child?
Positive. I asked Daddy, have we ever been to a ghost town? He said no. You know, the only place I remember seeing that is in my dream. And I have a strong feeling about it, too.
Deja vu. It's happened to me sometimes.
Like this, where you dream about it and think about it all the time?
Not exactly like that.
Hey, look at this. I didn't notice this.
But
It's in the Sierras, in Mono County. That's where we were.
we moved around a lot when we were on the run, and it's quite possible that we passed through this town.
Well, maybe we were there. And then my memory's coming back to me. But why would Joe be there with me?
Is that who the faceless man is?
Well, I mean, it has to be. He's connected with me in some way. He's important to me. It's got to be Joe.
Kelly, how do you feel when you wake up from this dream about the town?
Excited, and I can't wait to get to the drawing. I feel happy when I'm drawing on it. It feels like I'm uncovering something that's already on the paper. Does it make any sense? No, I didn't think so. I know you're tired of hearing all this.
No, I'm not. Not if it concerns you.
Look, Nick, if we were in that town together, why wouldn't that man be you?
You can't argue with your dreams, Kelly.
Okay, right, but I didn't actually see Joe's face. I'm just going by my feelings. Oh, Nick, it's so frustrating not being able to remember those 3 weeks.
You'll remember soon enough, when it's time, I suppose. Listen, I gotta go.
Okay, you can hang around if you want to. Watch me draw.
I'd love to, but I've got to get my cameras and all my stuff ready for tomorrow. You are going to be at this trial, aren't you?
I'll be there every day.
Good, then I can take pictures of you there. Oh, and thank you again for talking to your father about those pictures.
I meant it. I think we're really lucky to have you doing this for us. I mean, I believe that you will show everyone that Ted's really innocent.
Your faith in me is a very sweet thing, Kelly. I treasure it. Thank you. Night.
Nick, speaking of treasures,
Yes?
when you were a kid, did you ever wake up knowing that when you went to sleep the night before something really exciting happened to you, but not really remembering all that it was, and then knowing that when you woke up the next morning, the minute it came to you, it'd be even more exciting?
Yeah?
Well, that's what I feel like now. I feel like that when I'm drawing. If I could only remember what it is, knowing that something wonderful is going to happen. And it's like a buried treasure. And I feel like that when I'm drawing. And now that I know that town exists and I can see it, I really want to go back there. I feel like I have to go back.
Then you must see it.
Julia stayed out of my life for years, and then when I called her and told her I needed her, she didn't. She just came without any questions. I love her.
I know, Augusta.
No, you don't. She can't be gone. Julia's my family. She's my little sister. She's the only one that I can trust to protect me from you.
Protection? Why would you need protection against me? What for?
There are things I found out.
About me? What did you find out about me? Did Sophia say something?
No, I'm all right, really, Sissy.
You've given Augusta enough time. Just leave her and come home.
I will.
Sophia, sometimes it must seem to you as if I haven't let go of my anger.
No.
I hope you know that I have let go now and that I believe in you. And that I know that whatever you and Lionel had between you is dead and buried. Sophia, are you there?
Yes, I'm sure. I'll be home soon.
I love you. Bye.
Easy?
Gina, you're up. I was just on my way to come up and see how you were.
Well, I was hoping you'd do more than just that. I was hoping you'd come to bed. I hate sleeping alone, and I've been doing a lot of that lately. At the sanitarium, at the hospital.
I know, darling. I'll be up very soon, but there's some business I have to take care of first. It won't take very long.
Cece, one of the things I loved most about you was your honesty. You taught me how important it was for a husband and wife to be truthful.
Why are you bringing this up now, Gina?
Because I don't want you to start lying to me now.
Have I been?
You told me you were going to the Orient Express to see Eden, but you were there with Sophia.
How do you know that? Did you follow me?
I wanted to surprise you, but I was the one who was surprised.
Well, I'm sorry it had to happen that way, Gina, but I did go see Eden. She just wasn't there yet.
But Sophia was, even though she said she was going to the guest house.
Well, I guess she got lonely and changed her mind. I don't know.
Don't, please. I won't be able to stand it if you're not honest with me.
I told you what really happened.
But not all of it.
I said I told you what really happened. But I have been dishonest in another area, and I don't like it. I have gotten closer to Sophia.
How close?
Gina, you're my wife. I want to make you happy. That's all that matters.
Are you going to leave me for her?
No, I'm not going to leave you.
Cece, I need you. I want you to love me the way you did in the beginning. Do you remember how that was?
Yes, I remember. Well, I better see where that is.
Cece, I have something to tell you.
Augusta, how can I defend myself when I don't even know what's wrong, what I'm supposed to have done?
I don't want to think about it now, Niall. I can only think about Julia. I want to go home, please.
All right, let's go.
Oh, wait a minute. I have to say something to Sophia.
But you just said that all you can think of is Julia. I don't blame you.
I'll meet you outside.
Augusta, I don't pretend to know what's going on, but I'll wait outside for you, all right?
I'm glad you were smart enough to come back.
I'm not going to pretend. You don't scare me, Augusta. You do. Your kind of hatred is frightening.
I hope so. Because if you think you're ever going to forget it, I will be right there to remind you.
Oh, I don't think that'll be necessary. You see, I spend a part of my day in the same house I lived with Cece and the children. Sometimes I even have to go into the study, and it's the same as it used to be. Except Channing isn't there. Pictures of Channing and the children. And Cece and me in happier times, and I have to look at them, and every time I do, that reminder hurts.
But it doesn't hurt enough to make you leave. You just seem to settle in more every day.
My children need me, and I need them. Now, what do you want to do? Drive me out? Is that what you're after?
That's exactly what I want to do. But you're lucky I'm giving you a chance to pack up your tents and leave and go slowly into that good night.
And if I don't?
Do you really think that Cece's going to moon over you like he did tonight after he finds out that Channing is Lionel's child?
Esther, I'm going to beg you. I'm going to beg you not to tell Cece. He has been through too much. He can't take any more.
I already told you what you can do to spare him. All you have to do is do it.
It's very late, Santana. Can't this wait until tomorrow?
No, it won't even wait another minute.
What on earth is so important?
Brandon,
What about my son?
I won't talk to you with her here. Make her go.
You're not going to come in here and give me orders, Santana. Gina's my wife, and this is her home. She has a right to listen to anything you have to say.
Fine, then she can hear it. You have no idea who you're married to or what a terrible wife and mother she is.
How dare you talk about me that way? After all you've done to me?
You're a liar and you're also a tramp.
All right, that's enough now. I'm not going to have you come in here and make accusations against Gina.
What I have to say to you is true.
Well, if it is, you better have proof. Because if you don't have proof, I'll throw you out of here and never let you near Brandon again. Do you understand me?
Isn't enough? What isn't enough? What are you talking about? Tell me. I want to know how far you'd go to hurt me and to take my little boy away. What, do you want to tell Cece that I was a prostitute or a Russian spy? Go ahead, Santana, say something.
No, I won't do it. I know what you are, Gina, and soon everybody else is going to know, too. When I come back again, Cece, I'll have the proof that you want.